from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Fans coming in to see the opener of a three-game series between the San Francisco Giants and the Houston Astros. And good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Giants have had a stranglehold on the Astros. They've won 8 straight. Jason Castro makes his Major League debut for Houston tonight, JD.
Yeah, a lot of buzz around the ball club with Castro, Johnson, and Bourgeois coming up from the minor leagues, but a lot of electricity with the pitching matchup. One you can certainly sink your teeth into, and one we've already seen twice this year. Roy Oswalt, who's been one of the best pitchers in the National League for the last decade, against Tim Lincecum, who has been the Cy Young Award winner for the last 2 years. You see the record's a little bit different. 7-2 Lincecum, 5-8 Oswalt, but the numbers other than that almost identical. 3.11 ERA for Lincecum, Roy at 3.12. So great matchup again tonight. Roy looking to beat Lincecum. He's 0-2 against him so far this year.
In their third go-around against each other this season, the Giants continue to excel in this ballpark. Roy Oswalt wants to slam the door on San Francisco. In just a moment, we'll find out if he does. Houston Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. Tonight's game is presented in HD by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers and the 2010 MKS, technologically breathtaking. Inside Minute Maid Park, where the Giants have really played well with a 26-12 record. Here's Bruce Bochy's starting lineup tonight. Andres Torres is the center fielder. It's Freddie Sanchez at second base. Aubrey Huff plays right field, batting third. Juan Uribe is the cleanup man at third base. With Pat Burrell in left field, Pablo Sandoval at first base. Edgar Renteria plays shortstop, batting seventh. Benji Molina, the catcher's in the 8th spot for Tim Lincecum. And it's brought to you by Capital One.
Here he is, a whiz of a whiz. If ever a whiz there was, the wizard, Roy Oswalt. Home improvement. Check out this. He's been one of the best home pitchers in baseball over the last 10 years. This year, he hasn't pitched horribly here, but he's having a devil of a time winning. 1-7, 415 here in this ballpark. Career against the Giants, a losing record. That's pretty rare to say about Roy against any opponent. 5-7, with a good ERA, though. He's won his last 2 starts, really been throwing the ball well. Defensively, it looks like this. Lee Bourne and Pence covered the outfield. Good luck, of course, with Chris Johnson in there at third base, Manzella, Keppinger, and Berkman, and Jason Castro making his major league debut. Will be flashing the signs for Roy Oswalt.
And now Castro ready to call that first pitch of the game. He just turned 23 4 days ago. He puts the fingers down for the first pitch from Oswalt, who's 5-8.
Keep telling yourself it's just another ball game, but there's a little extra going on in that tummy major league debut.
He catches a strike to Andres Torres.
Man, can this guy call a game?
Strike one to a 285 hitter who has blistered the Astros. He had a big series in San Francisco against Houston with 6 extra base hits in those 3 games in that series. And the curve comes in, and it snowballs 2 strikes. Jerry Meals is the home plate umpire. Torres has 3 homers, 20 runs batted in. He's worked his way into more and more playing time at age 32.
Jason Castro, I was talking with him before the game. He said he didn't catch Roy in spring training, just maybe in the bullpen, but not in the game. And not only with Roy, but with all these pitchers, it certainly would be a learning curve as he tries to figure out their strengths and weaknesses, what they prefer to do, what they like to throw to certain hitters in certain counts.
Fastball's fouled away. In Roy's career, and of course he keeps coming up against Lincecum, which is tough to get into the win column with that kind of a matchup. He's 5-7 against the Giants with a 3.67 ERA. And that hangs. It's hit to center field. Michael Bourne back. Wide open spaces out there. 1 out for Oswalt. Roy with 5 wins, 8 losses, comes off a 4-2 win Wednesday night at Kansas City, in which he allowed 2 runs in 7 innings. 2 wins away from tying Joe Niekro on the all-time Astros win list with the recent work. Very good in those last 2 starts.
Yeah, good strikeout number. 16 strikeouts combined in those last 2. Allowed 2 earned runs in both of those starts on the road trip at Colorado and then Kansas City.
Freddie Sanchez takes ball 1. Sanchez was coming back from shoulder surgery when these 2 teams met earlier. He has good numbers against Roy, 11 for 33 in his career. And that grounder goes foul in his first at bat of this season against the Astros. Sanchez has come back to hit well, and in his career he's hit .299 against the Astros. But a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 6th Sunday against Toronto. That snapped a homerless streak of 196 at-bats for Sanchez. Former Pirate grounds one, knocked down. Bare hand of Roy Oswalt helps him to out number 2.
Yeah, not a lot of steam on that ground ball. Really got in the kitchen of Freddie Sanchez. Doesn't hurt when they hit it with the handle. Not a whole lot of steam on it.
Former Astro Aubrey Huff has really helped the Giants offensively. They are 13th in runs scored, but his numbers are robust. 307, 12 homers. He's driven in 37.
I mentioned in the pregame he's 346, I believe, 340 something since the end of April. That's the best batting average since then in the National League.
He's helped at different positions too. First base, left field, right field for this Giants club. It's 0-2 to Huff. Huff is 5th in on base average and 8th in slugging percentage in the National League.
That's playing his home games in a very tough hitter's ballpark too.
He stayed back enough to foul it. He might have pulled a groin doing so, though.
Talk about pulling the string on a breaking ball. It's like a slow pitch softball pitch. Tough. He gets started. He gets out on that front foot and just does everything he can to keep the hands back. How'd he hit a fastball after that?
Yeah,
like that.
Well, he did. And Carlos Lee comes over into left field, and Huff goes for second. Here's the throw to Tommy Manzella. He's out. Well, Carlos Lee comes up with his 4th outfield assist. Good scoop and tag by Manzella. It's no runs, a hit. Nobody left for the Giants. Did not score in the first. Six and 44. Here's his batting order, revised with the call-ups. It's brought to you by Capital One. Michael Bourne in center field leads it off. He's followed by Jeff Keppinger at second base. Lance Berkman plays first. Cleanup man is left fielder Carlos Lee. Hunter Pence, Chris Johnson, Jason Castro, Tommy Manzella, and Roy Oswalt round out the lineup. Tim Lincecum's first pitch is taken, ball 1, by the NL's top base stealer, Michael Bourne. He's been slumping lately. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Michael with 3 hits in his last 38 at-bats. Trying to get it cranked up against a pitcher who's 4-0 lifetime against Houston.
That's kind of report on Lincecum, brought to you by Suzuki. 4-0 lifetime, 2-0 this year. He's allowed just 1 run in those 2 starts, 15 innings against the Astros on opening day, and then in that series in San Francisco. They call him the Freak. Not a big man, but he's got a big right arm.
Gets it by Michael Bourne downstairs for a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
5'11", $170. Fastball, curveball, slider, and one of the better changeups in the game too for Lincecum.
Bourne takes, and it's strike 3. O'Neal's ringing it up for the first out for Lincecum.
Giants defensively have Burl, Torres, and Huff in the outfield. That means Andres Torres has got to cover a lot of real estate. The guys in the corner are not particularly speedy. Uribe's made the shift to third. Renteria got hurt a bunch this year. Sanchez as well. Pablo Sandoval slides over to first. Benji Molina is the catcher.
Lincecum versus Keppinger next. And Jeff bangs one on the ground. Sliding stop by Sanchez. And a good play for the second out for Lincecum.
Pretty steady in the middle with Sanchez and Renteria.
Lance Berkman, who went 2 for 11 with an RBI against the Rangers over the weekend, begins the night at 237, 6 homers. He's driven in 29. He has 3 hits and 13 career at bats against Lincecum with 2 runs batted in. Strike 1. This is the 6th meeting between Lincecum and Oswalt. Giants are 4-1 in the 5 so far. Lincecum is 3-0 with a 1.05 against Oswalt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sean Berry was saying around the batting cage he thinks he has seen improvement in both Lance Berkman and Carlos Lee. He said they're both close. 2-1. Lincecum not the sort of pitcher you figure to break out against with a .223 batting average against him.
No, that was a big part of the early struggles for the Astros. They ran into so much good pitching early in the season and fell into a collective funk offensively, and been spinning their wheels ever since.
Workman takes, that's a strike, and it's a full count. Astros, after being swept by the Rangers, have dropped 4 in a row and 8 of 9. And they are 0-6 this year against the Giants, 0-8 going back to last year against them. That's an electric heater and strikeout. Number 2 of the inning for Lincecum ends the Astros first with no score. Playing third base tonight. The return to the lineup at shortstop of Edgar Renteria a few days ago. Uribe is filled in quite capably at shortstop. Lashes this one to center field. Michael Bourne running out of room, but he has just enough there. About 400 feet away.
Uribe developing that power stroke later in his career. He's been a decent power guy. His best home run season 23 with the White Sox in 04 on his best pace by far in terms of run production, RBIs. 74 his best year, now on a pace for 100 plus.
Pat Burrell has been revitalized back in the National League. 341 with the Giants with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in after being released by Tampa Bay. He took strike 1. Pat, 33 years old. He's hit well in his career in this ballpark as a member of the Phillies, who drafted him as the first player drafted in the '98 draft. Fly ball. Michael Bourne comes in for this one. Keppinger all the way out. Now he gives way. 2 outs.
These two pitchers can fly through a lineup, and both guys on the attack.
Pablo Sandoval moving to first base for this game tonight. Normally is the third sacker. He sports a .280 batting average, .321 at home, just .236 on the road for Sandoval. He's a .442 lifetime hitter against Houston. A good crisp pitch over the outside corner for strike 1.
Typical Oswalt fashion, he's thrown 17 pitches 15 of them for strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Castro, along with his 2 teammates at Round Rock, Chris Johnson and Jason Bourgeois, got the word just before the game Sunday that they would be joining the Astros. They were on the bench in uniform but did not play in that game for Round Rock. Fly ball left field. Carlos Lee over a few steps. In the second, the Giants go down on 3 fly ball outs with no score.
At 105, take advantage of 9-inning lunch break presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Available for all weekday afternoon home games. To get a field box ticket plus $20 in food and beverage vouchers, all for just $40. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Bill.
Thanks, Patty. There was strike 1 to Carlos Lee. And Lincecum pours the fastball in at 93 to make it 0-2 to Carlos, a .268 hitter in June. And of his 10 homers, 5 have come in the last 18 games, with 17 runs batted in for Carlos in that period of time. That's lined by Freddie Sanchez. A breaking ball. Lincecum left up, and Lee jumped all over it on the 0-2 count for a single.
Lincecum not able to execute that pitch. 2-strike breaking pitch. Hangs about belly button high for Carlos. I'll tell you what, though. One of the common complaints you hear from hitters sitting in the dugout in the Major League game, not every night, but a lot of nights, challenge somebody, they'll yell out to the pitcher. Well, that's not going to happen tonight. Not while these starters are in the game anyway. And these guys will come after you.
Double play depth for Sanchez and Renteria with Hunter Pence batting, and the throw goes over on Carlos Lee.
Well, Molina's thrown out just 17%. And Tim Lincecum's been easy to run on, too. 14 out of 15 successful with Lincecum on the mound.
Hunter takes, and it's strike 1 to a .269 hitter with 10 homers, 31 runs batted in. He was 3 for 11 against the Rangers with an RBI in the weekend series. Lincecum just turned 26. Just over a week ago, he was the 10th player drafted in 06. From the University of Washington. Last year, his 2nd consecutive Cy Young in a 15-7 season. He is 47-19 in his major league career. One and one to Hunter Pence. During the Giants' 8-game winning streak over the Astros going back to last year, the Giants have outscored Houston 50-19. Astros have lost a couple of close ball games to San Francisco this year. It's been missed there, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Opening night, Tim beat Roy Oswalt 5-2, and he beat Roy again in San Francisco May 14th, 2-1. Hunter fouls it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mentioning earlier that little slump Lincecum had a period of 4 starts right after he faced the Astros in mid-May in San Francisco, in which he went 0-2 with a 6.85 ERA. Lost games to Washington and Colorado, and then he had 2 no decisions in there. And there was the feeling that his release point was a little bit off at that time, but he's corrected it.
The game he had against the Astros in San Francisco, he wasn't very good either. He was behind the count all day, and he didn't have much life on the fastball. He got plenty of life on this one. I'm not sure where it was.
He paused for a moment as Jerry Meals had called it ball 3. Now full count with Lee edging off first. He's starting and stopping, and it's foul up the right field line. Lincecum in his career 4-0 against Houston with a 1.33 ERA for 7 starts. His last outing was a win over Baltimore on Wednesday, 6-3, in which he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. Both these pitchers are working with an extra day of rest. Lincecum has been very tough to crack for the Astros in those 7 starts. He's the first Giants 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
It's pretty impressive. I can't think of another right-handed pitcher I've seen attack Pence with so many fastballs. The look on Hunter, throw him that breaking pitch off the plate and see if he'll chase. And Lincecum throwing a lot of fastballs.
Lincecum has started just 4 games this year against teams below 500.
If he'd throw him a changeup here, he'd just twist him up.
Carlos is going, swing and a miss. The throw from Molina is perfect, and the tag is good by Sanchez for a strikeout, throw-out, double play.
He did throw him a changeup. That's just an impossible pitch to handle. You know, if he hung one, you could do something with it, but he makes a perfect pitch with the changeup. Molina makes a good, solid throw. Astros there looking for contact for ball 4 and get neither. Great pitch by Lincecum and a good throw by Molina.
Now Chris Johnson, one of 3 players who rejoined the Astros from Round Rock today. And a 4th, Chris Sampson, was activated from the disabled list just before the game tonight. Takes ball 1 at AAA Round Rock. Chris was hitting .329 with 8 homers, 33 driven in. He opened the season on the Astros roster 2-0. He had some starts, and he was placed on the disabled list, the right intercostal strain, on the 20th of April, and was activated and optioned to AAA May 8th.
And just 22 at bats earlier in the year with the Astros. Very good numbers down at AAA after an outstanding spring training. There it is, 8 bombs, 22 driven in.
Led the club in homers and runs batted in this spring. Fastball makes it 3-1.
The plan is that Chris Johnson will get the lion's share of the playing time down there at third base. Time now where the Astros have to find out about some of these guys as they look to the future.
Fly ball, center field. Andres Torres with the final out of the 2nd inning, no score. No score. Third inning begins with Edgar Renteria. He's been on the disabled list with 2 different injuries. There's strike 1 to Renteria. He's come back to put together a 5-game hitting streak and move back into that lineup at shortstop. And he's a .310 career hitter against Oswalt with 2 long balls.
Absolutely lit it up here in that opening series. I believe he had a 5-hit game.
Yeah, he hit .727 in that series. As the Giants got off to a sweep to open the season here. He had 5 hits in the 3rd game of the series. That tied his career high, and then he missed the series in San Francisco, so he's 8 for 11. That .727 average, but he was on the DL with a strained right groin May 7th, and then he got hurt again. So he has missed a whole lot of time this season. That one got in on him. It's flipped up the right field line and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, the Giant, you know, he missed a bunch of time. Freddie Sanchez started the year on the DL. He's played about 30 ball games. Mark DeRosa hasn't played all year and apparently will not play. Season-ending wrist surgery coming his way. So they've hung in there pretty well despite some fairly significant injuries.
True. 2-2. They just lost 2 of 3 in Toronto over the weekend. They hit .210 in those 3 games. Bruce Bochy, though, when he has the trio of Lincecum, Zito, and Kane in a series, the Giants are 12-3 in those series. And that's the trio he has up for this week.
Yeah, Kane just 6-5. And we've been talking about Lincecum, and Lincecum obviously one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Kane's ERA is about a run lower than Lincecum's right now. It's 2.16. We talk about going from the fire to the frying pan.
And Lincecum is on another great path, like he was the last 2 years. Zito has really come around well.
Can we talk about just this kid? I mean, it looks like he's about 17 years old. What other pitcher is going to be standing there in between innings, leaning against the trash can with his batting glove on?
He can't wait to hit.
Yeah. He else will be up in the tunnel, sitting in a chair. Looks like he's getting ready to cast a spell.
That Thursday game, the finale of this homestand, is an afternoon affair. Then the Astros travel to Arlington, Texas for the weekend. It's a full count to Renteria. Edgar, 34 years old, well-traveled, excellent player, 5-time All-Star. That one goes foul again. The Giants are 13th in runs scored. They're 11th in total bases. What they've done has been largely because of their pitching. But they do have some very good hitters. Here's the 10th pitch of this at bat to Renteria. And a swing and a miss gets Oswalt his first strikeout of the night. Let's go to Patty Smith.
Well, guys, this date in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. It was 1993. Jeff Bagwell does it all in a 5-1 win over the Dodgers. He singles, doubles, and homers, driving in 2 runs, scoring 2 runs, one of them with a steal of home. Bill?
He did it all, as he frequently did. Thanks, Patty. There's Molina taking ball 1. Benji, a .255 hitter with 3 homers, has 17 runs batted in. This one heads for right center field and dunks in front of Michael Bourne for a single. Giants' second hit of the night.
One of the things that separated Baggy from so many of the other slugging first basemen, not only of this era but all time, is his ability to play the whole game. Outstanding defensively, a great base runner.
Very glad he's joining us on Saturday nights here. Tim Lincecum, a 134 hitter. Has driven in 11 in his career. Has 6 sacrifice bunts this season. This one's popped up. Berkman will drop it. And they're going to call it an out. That Berkman dropped it intentionally. That's the call by Jerry Meals, which he did. But he was thinking double play. Giants are not going to be doubled up on this. Let's see.
Yeah, if he stands and lets it drop, you probably can get away with it. But he kind of catches it. He goes, wait a minute, I don't want to catch that. Lincecum's not running. I'll get a double play. But Lincecum standing there 10 feet away from home plate.
So we'll just score that 3 unassisted on a popped up bunt.
And I imagine there was some confusion there too, thinking that maybe Roy was going to catch the ball. If he was the only guy involved in the play, he might have just taken a step back and let it drop, and then get to force that second. And likely is a double play with Lincecum just kind of watching and not running.
Andres Torres hit a good fastball near the knees for strike 1. Torres began his career with Detroit, a switch hitter from Puerto Rico. He went to college at Miami-Dade North. Last year he had 152 at-bats. He's worked his way into a lot more playing time this season. And in fact, Aaron Rowan's on the bench.
That was that series against the Astros in San Francisco earlier this year, but Torres got an opportunity and really performed well. He's pretty much been in there, not every day, but a high percentage of the time since then.
He's had 200 at-bats already this season. Berkman's playing behind the runner. Molina at first. That's an electric heater upstairs, and it's 1-2. These two pitchers similar in body build and in the way they attack hitters and in their long strides to the plate.
Yeah, and I think that's where the velocity comes from. People say, well, these guys aren't particularly big. Where do they get that velocity? Well, they're very good athletes. They got a lot going on mechanically. But the one thing that you can point to with their delivery is how extended they get, and how long the stride is, and the great extension back. If you think about a javelin thrower, somebody in the throwing sports, what they're trying to get is real long extension, striding one way and then reaching way back the other. Billy Wagner had the same thing going. Wagner's not a particularly tall guy, but he had a big wingspan. You see it there with Roy. That's why the last couple of years he's been off a little bit because of the hip, groin, the back problems, just not able to get that leverage against his front side. This year healthy and throwing very well again.
Another foul ball keeps Torres in the count at 1-2. Oswalt is 1-7 at home with a 4.15 ERA. And coming into this season, he was 75-25 at home. He's lost 4 straight here since his only home win over Pittsburgh, April 23rd. He certainly pitched well enough to win several of those games. He lost one of them 1-0. He lost a 4-0 game. Swing and a miss as he changed speeds and got Torres out in front for strikeout number 2. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, no score.
cameras taking pictures of everything, anchored here by Mom Lori and Dad Tom. And I know this is an exciting time for you guys. How exciting is today for you?
I can't even describe it. We've been waiting for this moment since he was 7 years old, and there he is right now. I can't describe it.
And Tom, tell us about great Father's Day for you actually getting the call.
It was a great Father's Day. I got a call from Jason telling me Happy Father's Day, and oh, by the way, I've been called up. So it's been quite a weekend to get everything taken care of and get down here. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Kind of a proud moment for you guys. Listen to the crowd here. Everybody cheering for your son. It's kind of surreal, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's let's go.
All right, well, I'm going to step away for a second, let you watch, and I'm going to come back, okay? All right, Bill.
Take you in the moment. He's hit 265 at AAA. First major league hit. Jason Castro off Tim Lincecum.
Why not? Why not? Nothing to it. Give me to a higher league. This is easy.
All right, we couldn't have scripted that one any better. Take us through it. Take us through that hit, Lori.
It looks like he took a fastball on the outside corner and waited for a nice curveball and drove up the middle.
Exactly like you taught him.
Like I taught him.
And you knew that was good. Look at you have tears in your eyes.
Tears of joy. That's what you would pray for if you could write a script for your first at bat in the major leagues. Absolutely amazing. We're so proud.
And I guess he's buying dinner tonight, right?
He better be.
All right, you guys enjoy it. Congratulations
so much.
Thank you.
Bill.
What a great moment, Patty. Strike one to Tommy Manzella after Castro's first major league hit.
He's catching a shutout and hitting 1,000. He's on his way.
Manzella, a 215 hitter, tries to advance it. Shoots one foul. 0-2 with Roy Oswald on deck. Manzella with a homer, 16 runs batted in. Comes up against Tim Lincecum to try to get something going. Putting hits together against this right-hander, very tough. He's only allowed 78 hits this year in about 95 innings.
And he didn't walk many either. 37 walks. He's allowed 5 home runs. So if you're getting the right counts, he's the type of guy, because he has been easy to run on, attempted to put some plays on, and even, they did try that with Pence up there in Leon, and then ended up striking out and getting thrown out on a double play, but can't shut it down.
The most runs Lincecum has allowed to the Astros in one start is 3. That was in 6 innings in San Francisco in May of 2008, and he got a no decision.
And Jason from Castro Valley, California, not too far away from San Francisco.
Went to Stanford University. That was the Astros' first-round draft choice in 2008, the 10th player drafted. 1-2, and he faced Lincecum, we were told, in college. Lincecum was at Washington, Castro at Stanford.
1 for 3 off. I think it's a 500 hitter now off Lincecum.
He gets by Molina. Castro takes off to second base, and he'll make it there. As the count goes to 2-2 on Manzella.
Funky looking. I thought it was fouled. Obviously not. Just a little sailing fastball. Molina can't handle it. It's going to be a pass ball.
Second pass ball for Molina this season. It's Castro to second base. When Lincecum beat Oswald in San Francisco this May 14th, he won it 2-1. The one run the Astros scored was scored on a wild pitch. Michael Bourne had walked, stolen a base, and came in on a wild pitch in the first inning. Michael had 3 steals off Lincecum in that game. Popped up behind third, and 3 players give chase. Uribe with his back to the plate. Renteria, it's dropped. Castro held at second base. Manzella reaching on the drop near the left field line as the Giants players were close to each other, and the ball was not held by Renteria.
Yeah, opening the door here. Pass ball, now a misplay in the outfield. An easy pop up. Renteria looks first at Uribe and then just doesn't take charge. It's an easier play for the shortstop, but the bottom line there, somebody just needs to take charge of the play. Uribe called it, couldn't get it. Renteria tried to bail him out. I'm not sure who's going to get charged with the error there. It should be on Uribe because he called and didn't make the play, but it went off in Renteria's glove. He'll probably get the error. Unless they rule it a base hit.
Still waiting for that. Well, it's up there as a hit. Astros hit 3 hits.
That can't be a hit.
For now it is. And it's Roy Oswalt, 3 for 19. 7 sacrifice bunts. The Giants expect him to put one down here. Popped up and caught by Molina. Castro scurries back to second base, 1 out.
Well, usually very good at getting sacrifice bunts down. He popped Lincecum up, and Lincecum pops him up in one situation.
Michael Bourne trying to work his way out of that slump. Struck out looking in the first inning.
Jack's Energy brings us pitch tracker. And you see at the number 1 that first pitch curveball dropping into the top of the strike zone. Lefties have a much better chance against Lincecum than right-handed hitters. Wow.
Molina almost dislocated his left shoulder catching that pitch.
Don't normally talk about catcher's range. He showed pretty good range right there.
He's having a rough time here in the 3rd inning. Bourne takes it, and that's ball 2 to Michael.
Doesn't appear to be a very generous strike zone tonight.
He's walked only 37 this year.
I mentioned the lefties versus righties. Left-handed hitters hitting .259 off 10, and right-handed hitters a .191. Does his best work in these situations with runners in scoring position. The batting average against him 186. Kind of slows things down a little bit, takes a little more time.
Bourne fouls it. As a freshman in high school, Lincecum was 4'11" and 85 pounds. As a sophomore, he was 5'2", 100 pounds. And he hit a growth spurt, 5'8", 125 as a junior. Ball to left center field. This could be a gapper. It falls. Castro around third. The throw back into Renteria. It's 1-0 Houston. Bourne with an RBI double gets it between Burrow and Torres. For his 12th run batted in, scoring Castro.
That's a nice swing of the bat from Michael, who has really been struggling lately. To be able to come through in this situation, drive in a run. It's a big swing of the bat. Well, the Giants going to have some significant coverage issues in that outfield with this deployment. Verlin left, Huffman right, especially in their ballpark. Big outfield out there in San Francisco.
1-0 Castro scoring the first one. And it's Jeff Keppinger. Sandoval comes in tight at first. Ball 1 up and in with middle infielders also moving in closer. Keppinger grounded out to second. The Giants with their pitching staff are a very good team when they score first in a game, 27-7. It's 2-0. The Astros as a team have a .284 on base average, the 3rd lowest through 70 games since the 1969 season.
3rd lowest in franchise history or just baseball?
All major league clubs. 3-0. Keppinger at 300 when he works his way in front. worked his way on with a walk. Now bases loaded for Lance Berkman, and Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, is on his way to the mound as the Astros have a chance to really do some damage.
Lenska perhaps trying to overthrow a little bit here. Things not going his way with the pass ball, the misplay in the outfield. Sometimes as a pitcher, you try to take on a little too much in certain situations. Feel like you have to strike everybody out, and you reach back for a little something extra, and then you lose command.
.47 pitches for Tim. It'll be Berkman who struck out in the first. Lance, a .244 career hitter against the Giants. A chance to really give Roy Oswalt some working room here. .305 is his career average with the bases loaded.
And one swing of the bat here could be a huge difference maker the way Roy is going along through 3 innings.
Strike to Berkman. Lincecum has had much better run support than Oswalt, 5.44. Run support average, and Roy has an average of 3.12. It's 1-1.
Interesting. He didn't throw many changeups.
No.
It's a real good pitch for him typically. Should have got Pence with. There it is.
The glove of Lincecum, that slows it down. Sanchez steps on second and gets the double play. Well, Lincecum slowed it down, making it a 1-4-3 double play, and the Astros come away with 1/3 inning run. Is brought to you by Chevy, by Clear Wireless, and by Fred Loya Insurance. They are hot, sizzling fajitas. Meanwhile, it's a sizzling ball game. There is strike one with these two pitchers, Oswalt and Lincecum, squaring off again. 1-0 lead for the Astros. Strike one to Sanchez. He grounded back to Roy in the first.
Kind of the fun thing about a pitching matchup like this, you take a routine Tuesday night in June at the ballpark, and it takes on a little bit better feel, a little more buzz in the ballpark.
I bet it does. Sanchez fouls it back. He was unhappy with the previous call. Still no balls, 2 strikes.
Got a little careless with that curveball. Trying to bounce it on home plate First pitch strikes 9 of the 11 batters he has faced so far. And you're talking about the challenges for Jason Castro trying to get used to the Astros pitchers. A guy like Oswalt who likes to work so quickly. You want to get a feel for him as soon as possible if you're Jason, because you don't want to have to be going through the whole series of signs to get to a given pitch.
Strike 3 call to Sanchez. Third strikeout for Oswalt.
I guess that's the beauty of having a Stanford man back there. A quick study. Everything I've heard about him, he's a sharp guy and really a quick learner. Like a quarterback when he first joins the team and gets that new playbook. There's a lot to digest for a young catcher, more so than any other position coming to the big leagues. Everybody else has to worry about just their game. The catcher has to worry about his and all the pitchers he's going to catch.
That's strike 1 to Aubrey Huff. He singled to left field, then he was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double.
I'd be tempted to reassign Jamie Quirk from the bullpen to the bench on games where Jason's not catching and let him just sit next to Jamie and talk pitching and catching.
It's a thought. Infield shifted way around with Keppinger out in right field. It's bounced, and Manzella is way over on the first base side of second, and the shortstop takes care of out number 2.
You still score at 6-3. Shortstop to first base.
Well, the shortstop wasn't at shortstop.
Yeah.
How about that range?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'll show up on those stats. Shortstop made a play in short right field. Wow, who is that guy? Unbelievable range. I guess you scored 6 parentheses 4 to 3.
Juan Uribe hit a fly ball to center. He looks at strike 1. So Oswalt started his season here against Lincecum. He lost that game 5-2, giving up 3 runs in 6 innings. He lost 2-1 to Halladay. Lost a 2-1 game to Lincecum. Lost 4-0 to Ubaldo Jimenez. Now Lincecum again.
If you're Roy Oswalt, your mindset has to be, hey, those guys have to go up against Roy Oswalt.
Yeah. Humberto Quintero had been catching Roy recently. By the way, he's fine tonight. He had 7 stitches after the game Sunday. In the air, and Hunter Pence goes for it. So does Michael Bourne in shallow center for the 3rd out. And in the 4th inning, Roy Oswalt gets Sanchez, Huff, and Uribe to maintain a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 4th inning underway. 1-0 Houston. 3 hits for the Astros, 2 for the Giants. And it looks like we've had a scoring change.
Change that pop up by Manzella to E6.
Fly ball to center field. Torres waiting. Well, now we go to Patty Smith.
Well, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball throughout the Lone Star State. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, just visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Hunter Pence coming up next. He struck out. That was part of a double play in the second inning. Yeah, the official score changed the Manzella play, the pop-up, to an error on Renteria rather than a hit for Manzella. And Lincecum faces Pence. Upstairs, ball one. There's an interesting Sports Illustrated article on Lincecum talking about his pitching style and his stride length. Tap foul, 1-1. According to that article, the normal stride length for a pitcher is 77% to 87% of his height. Lincecum's stride is 129% of his height, or 7.5 feet.
Let's mark it off.
That's a huge stride. Between first and second into right field for a Hunter Pence single. Hit number 4 for the Astros. You know, by the time he releases the baseball, his right foot is more than a foot in front of the rubber, and that shrinks the distance between him and the hitter. That's the way he was taught to do it in the backyard. Chris Johnson, the batter. Ball one. People who were watching him when he was in that little mini slump said that he was releasing the baseball back closer to his head, not out in front of him the way he normally has in the past, but he's worked his way through that problem.
Releasing the ball back by his head.
Mike Krukow said, and then somebody else said he wasn't finishing his pitches, and normally he has this style of reaching down as if to pick up a dollar bill after he.
Yeah, I remember that video of him when his dad was working as a kid.
1-1. So there was some thought that he was not doing that at the end as he finishes. Chris Johnson's father, Ron, the first base coach of the Boston Red Sox, will be crossing paths with the third base coach of the San Francisco Giants in the next series in San Francisco. Tim Flannery. Ground ball. And they used to play guitars together back in the mid-'70s in Colorado. So we're looking forward to that reunion.
In Boulder, playing the summer league, right, in college? Is that when they were together?
Yeah.
And I've not seen each other since. That's the nature of this game. You have guys that you played with in college or in the low minor leagues, and you find out 20, 25 years later they're still in the game, but you've never come across them.
Foul back. Pence with 7 steals and 11 tries on the first base. With a 1-2 count and 1 out, and Castro on deck.
How about the Astros not being a very good base stealing team outside of Michael Bourne, but again with this combination of Lincecum and Molina, Alec Pence should be thinking about trying to get it back.
Line shot, foul.
Good swing.
With Pedro Feliz slumping, Johnson gets an opportunity to play a lot of third base for the Astros now.
Yeah, the timing of this call-up was interesting because it's not like it's a soft landing for these young players with the Giants pitching staff and then going into Arlington. Arlington, a good hitter's ballpark, but you should see Colby Lewis in one of those games. And T.J. Wilson as well, I would think. They're both pitching very well this year.
Wilson really gutted it out on Sunday. Rangers have not yet announced their rotation for the weekend series. Moeller Friday night for Houston. Saturday afternoon, a 2:05 smoking hot day finds Felipe Paulino taking the mound. And then Roy Oswalt gets the Sunday night game.
They play night games in Arlington because of the heat, but Saturday they're playing a day game so they can televise.
Throw the first. Pence diving back in. Well, we have a listing of Tommy Hunter for tonight's game, the 22nd, so we might be seeing him on Sunday. Johnson takes, and it's ball 3. Johnson just got a chance to start a few games earlier this season with the Astros before he got hurt. 25 years old, born in Naples, Florida. Had 22 at-bats with the Astros late last season. Two pitch. Pence is going. Swing and a miss. Molina's throw right on the bag, but not in time. A steal for Pence on a strikeout by Johnson.
Yeah, very similar to the situation when Hunter was hitting and Carlos Lee was the base runner through the 3-2 changeup. Again, he gets the hitter, but the difference is Pence is running and not Carlos, and Hunter steals the bag.
8 steals for Hunter. 12 tries.
And that changeup of his is so good. You can tell yourself, well, be looking for that changeup. And it doesn't matter. It's just very difficult to recognize out of his hand.
The Castro family taking plenty of photos as Jason comes up for the second time as a major leaguer. He was the first Astros since Tommy Manzella last year to get a hit in his first at bat.
His first knock, first run scored. How about a first RBI?
Last year, Jason played about half the season at Class A Lancaster and the other half at Double A Corpus Christi.
I've got the first base hit ball in his hands already.
Wow, that's quick. Well, it was only just about 2 years ago that his family was here when Jason signed his contract after being the 10th player drafted, coming from Stanford, where he had been a first baseman and DH the first 2 years. Then he caught. So not extensive catching experience in college for Jason, but a crash course since then.
Talking with Jamie Quirk before the game, Jamie had him with Team USA last year. So he knew then that he was ready to catch in the big leagues. The question is, how well would he hit? It's interesting when you look at the projections, all the scouting reports, all the different players like Jason Castro. They talk about a guy who should get to the big leagues in a hurry, settle in and be a solid major league player for a long time. Maybe not be a star type player, but who knows?
You're right. Who does know?
A chance to be a good big leaguer.
Sanchez throws out Castro. No runs, a hit, a runner stranded through 4, 1-0 Houston. by AT&T, by Capital One, and by Gullo Automotive. A very warm, sultry night outside. It's 1-0 inside. Roy Oswalt and the Astros leading. Pat Burrell leads it off in the 5th inning. Burrell was visiting with his former University of Miami teammate before the game today. Jason Michaels and Aubrey Huff also played with those two. They hit 3, 4, 5 in the order for the Hurricanes. Ball 1 to Burrell. They're going to try to pose for a picture before the game tomorrow night. Back to center field. Michael Bourne headed back, turning and backpedaling. 1 out.
Pretty busy night for Michael Bourne out there in center field. Smart pitching by Oswalt. Used a big part of the yard and used the speediest outfielder. A lot of right-handed hitters in their lineup. Keep that fastball out away from them, and if they try to pull it, probably be the end result.
Pablo Sandoval's the batter. Known as the Kung Fu Panda out of the Bay Area. He's been a hitting machine. Fouls it back. He's 23 years old. There's strike 1 to Pablo, who hit .330 last season. And the Pandas have worked their way south.
Oh, it's tough climate for the Pandas.
Didn't know they migrated in summertime. Good fastball. 0-2. Giant fans have come here to watch this club, which has done so well in this ballpark. 26-12 at Minute Maid Park.
They're having that conversation right now. Who said it was a good idea to come to Houston in June?
Up the middle. Manzella can't reach it. On through to center field. 6 straight had been retired by Roy Oswalt. Now let's join Greg Lucas.
I have a note to remind you that tomorrow on the pregame show, remember it's Email Wednesday. We could still use a couple of questions for JD and Brownie to talk about. You can always email us here. I've got the computers ready. I've got 2 of them out tonight. And we're taking your tweets, and I will tweet, and we will also take emails. And it's easy to do, Fox Sports Houston at yahoo.com, or you can go to the website and just make a click. But we'll take emails at any time. We answer them all. We forward the ones that fit for JD and Brownie, and they're eager to answer them tomorrow on the pregame. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Greg. We like your new computer there.
I do too. It's really nice, and I've actually learned how to use it a little.
Renteria takes strike 1. You were telling me when you turn it off, it actually goes off immediately.
This one takes about 5 minutes. This one is bang right away. I've got Twitter on one and email on the other, so I'm ready.
2 computers?
Yeah, I'm not going to do this every night, but tonight I will.
Okay.
Well, a dedication to the craft.
2 computers. Renteria takes a strike, and it's 0-2 to him. He struck out in the 3rd inning. Edgar came up with the Florida Marlins. That was a part of their World Championship team in 1997. He had productive years for the Cardinals, including the 100 RBI season and a .330 batting average in 03. For Boston, Atlanta, Detroit. Ground ball. Keppinger with the toss to Manzella. Manzella to Berkman. And the Astros turn their 69th double play of the year to maintain a 1-0 lead.
introduce you to our progressive fan of the game, and our fan is Ernest Kubosh. And Ernest is up here in the suites with all of his family. Ernest is one of the oldest living survivors of the Battle of Iwo Jima back in World War II. He'll be 96 years old in August, and all of his family is celebrating. They brought pictures of the event. And Ernest, the great thing about this is I know this is your very first Houston Astros game, and I know you went back to Iwo Jima a few years ago for the 59th anniversary. Can you tell us a little bit about that visit?
It was a great trip. Miss Koenig, a girl in Massachusetts, called me, and she said, I'm putting a trip together to go back to Iwo Jima. I said, I'm not interested. I've been there. She said, have you got any children? I said, yeah. I have a boy and a daughter. She says, give me your daughter's phone number. And I said, okay. And about 15 minutes, Lisa called me, said, Daddy, we're going to Iwo Jima. I've already put up the money and told her we're coming. Well, okay, we'll do it. I have to get a passport and everything. But she said, yeah, we can do all that. We got plenty of time. And we did. And we left Houston and flew to Honolulu, changed plane, flew to Guam, and from Guam we flew to Saipan, and that was the first night we got to sleep, which we were pretty tired. Next day we took a ferry over to Tinian, and I told everybody on board, she said, the captain said, it's a little rough out there, you might get sick. Some of you might get sick. I said, I've been all over the Pacific. I never got sick, and I don't intend to now. I'm the only person that threw up on that trip.
Well, and I know this is a very special night with all the family up here, and there's some Marines that brought you a special flag that flew over the Arizona. What does that mean to you to be remembered and acknowledged like this?
Oh, it's great. It's really great. And I don't feel like I probably deserve it no more than any other Marine that was on Iwo, especially the boy with 7,000 killed. And the boy that talked me into joining the CB was killed the first day. And I attended his funeral 2 years after the war in San Antonio. And Admiral Nimitz happened to be standing there looking at the casket at the time. I was bashful about going up talking to him, but I wished I had at this time now. It was a great trip. One of the night the girls put on a dance, and as I told some of my friends back home, they had less clothes, and the girls played volleyball in the Olympics.
Well, I'm sure we could listen to your stories all night long, and it's truly a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
For this little bit that we can do, you are a progressive fan of the game. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Fascinating stuff. The throw gets away, and Michael Bourne will head for second after a single to left field. Pat Pearl's throw is wide, and Bourne winds up at second base after getting an RBI double in the third.
Well, likely would have ended up at second base in a pitch or two anyway, but another misplay by the Giants outfield here. Pearl's throw offline, and Renteria not able to glove it. Eludes Sanchez. And again, that's the pressure speed puts on. Michael was pulling up. He wasn't going to try to stretch that into a double, but Burl doesn't know that. He comes up, instead of just making a good accurate throw, he rushes his throw, and it's a little bit offline. All about Bourne's speed creating that opportunity.
Single and an error on Burl. Keppinger fouls at strike one. Second Giant miscue of the game. They had made only 26 errors this year until tonight.
That gentleman was 96 years old.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's something.
Wow.
Giants have only allowed 13 unearned runs all season. Pickoff at second, thrown into center field. Now Bourne gets up and heads for third. Well, Michael, they seem to be in a position to be picked off. Winds up on third base. The third Giant error of the night.
Cue the Calliope. Michael was trying to get a big secondary lead, and Lincecum does that inside move, Wasn't planning on throwing back, but then Michael stumbled on his way to second base, so he throws anyway, and he was off kilter a little bit when he made the throw.
First error by Lincecum.
90 feet. Normally not that significant with 2 outs, but Lincecum tough to handle at times for a catcher.
Tap to the left side. Renteria gets Keppinger. And it's no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and a man left. 1-0 Houston through 5. Enjoy a live Zydeco band, Cajun food, beer sampling, and an exciting night of baseball. Visit Astros.com/Bayou for tickets. 1-0. Oswald and the Astros lead it. Molina looking at ball 1. That's the 56th pitch for Roy. His mound opponent has thrown 79 so far in this game. Roy's had 3 innings in which he's thrown fewer than 10 pitches. Lincecum has not done that once yet. It's 1-1.
In the 4th and 5th innings combined, Oswald threw 17 pitches. 16 of them were strikes. That's efficient.
He gets a swing and a miss there to take it to 1-2 on Molina, who got a hit in the 3rd inning to right center field. Roy has allowed 3 singles so far.
Well, his brother Yadier has tied him in the home run department. Yadier went deep for the Cardinals tonight, his 3rd. Benji has 3. Redbirds lead the Bluebirds, the Jays, 8-4.
2-2.
Holiday went deep again. Rasmus as well. Jose Bautista hit 2. He now has 20.
Interesting year for him. Up the middle and diving Mansella can't make the play. Molina's 2 for 2. And Lincecum with the slow-footed Molina will be up there to try to bunt him over. Now Brad Mills is coming out. Mansella may be hurt.
Yeah, it looked like he reacted to some of the bark, and that ball might have got him on the wrist, or no, he rolled over when he hit the ground. Good look at it there. He gets extended for this ball and then rolls over on his left wrist.
Head athletic trainer Nate Lucero looking at Tommy Manzella's left wrist.
In the meantime, backup catcher Eli Whiteside has come into the game to pinch run for Molina.
Interesting substitution, but understandable the way this game is going, JD, with the slow-footed Molina leaving the game.
Right. I think, normally you talk about a major league game that the first 6 innings belong to the players. The last 3 innings belong to the managers. That's when all the moves get made. But when you got Oswalt versus Lincecum and runs really at a premium, you tend to make moves a little bit sooner. You don't get many scoring opportunities. When you get one, you try to take advantage of it.
It could mean a difference in Lincecum bunting over the base runner. Lincecum takes high. Popped up a bunt in the 3rd inning. Berkman dropped it on purpose and was called for dropping it on purpose, so Lincecum was retired by the first baseman. Strike. 1-1.
Lance, who really likes to come hard in these bunt situations from first base, has to hesitate a little bit because he doesn't want to give Whiteside such a huge secondary lead where they don't have a chance to force him at second if he makes a bad bunt.
In the air again, Berkman diving, can't make the play at foul ground.
And the fans respond, appreciating the effort. Great try.
That was some good all-out effort. On a game like this, you know the players have that feel that every base is precious. Every play they can make like that could amount to having a lot to do with winning the game. Lincecum takes it. It's strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Oswalt.
Second time Lincecum has not been able to execute the bunt situation. Popped up last time, punches out looking here.
Now Andres Torres, he's flied to center and struck out. Jamie Moyer of the Phillies has a 2-1 lead at home against Cleveland in the top of the 9th inning. He's left the game for Brad Lidge now. There's a stop by Castro on ball 1 in the dirt.
Interleague play everywhere but here in Major League Baseball. The Mets just dropped an 8 spot on the Tigers in the 3rd.
If Moyer wins that game, it'll be a milestone 266th Major League victory for him, which would tie him for 35th place with Bob Feller and Eppa Rixey. Line shot up the right field line, hooking and foul.
Andres Torres 6 out of 14 against the Astros coming into this series. Had that great series against the Astros in San Francisco. Did a big home run. Driving the ball all over the ballpark. Pretty good looking player, switch hitter. It's kind of a throwback look.
Yes, it is. Goes back to the 50s, doesn't it? 40s maybe. Headgear on a one. Jay, you've been known to break out a bandana here and there, haven't you?
Yeah. Mix it up, Brownie.
2 balls and a strike.
Not many hair options, so you know, it's a bandana on or something to change the look.
Jamie Moyer, a Hall of Famer for you?
He's in my personal Hall of Fame, but I don't know that he's a Hall of Famer.
3 balls, 1 strike for Oswalt. 53-14, a great ratio of strikes to balls, 67 pitches.
It's certainly in Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This is only the second 3-ball count for Roy tonight. Hit the top of the screen and kicked back into the club level seats where it was not received properly. An error on that fan. 3-2. Astros trying to snap a 4-game losing streak tonight. And they have just been having a very difficult time A, scoring runs, and B, coordinating the other aspects of the game, pitching and fielding together into winning. Runner going, and that's strike 3. Throw from Castro to Manzella. Gets it. Well, Jason Castro throws out the base runner, Whiteside, and that's his first as a major leaguer, gunning down an attempted base stealer. No runs, a hit, a double play, and Astros double play for Roy Oswalt. Renteria hits the grounder to Keppinger. There's the toss. Goes to Manzella and then over to Berkman. The Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by the Frost-Brewed Coors Light. 2 double plays in 2 innings now for the Astros. They lead it 1-0 as Lance Berkman takes strike 1, bottom of the 6th inning. Berkman has struck out and grounded into a double play himself. Phillies beat Cleveland 2-1. Moyer going to 8-6. He beat Mitch Talbot, who is 7-6. Brad Lidge got save number 5, and Russell Branyan hit his 10th for the Tribe. Two balls, 1 strike with Lee and Pence to follow Berkman here in the Astros 6th inning. By Whiteside stays in the game to catch after being thrown out after pinch running for the catcher Molina.
And Bruce Bochy with a little extra flexibility now that the Giants have called up Buster Posey. They have 3 catchers. Posey can also play first base. And it's a move Bochy can make now. Pinch run from Molina and not be concerned about getting stuck with just 1 catcher.
Leadoff walk to Berkman. Second walk of the night for Lincecum. Our AT&T trivia question comes your way right now. Minute Maid Park. Name the 4 pitchers to win the Cy Young in their first full season.
Cy Young Award's been around since the mid-50s, I think.
Carlos Lee watches the throw go over on Berkman. Carlos 1 for 2. Doc Gooden?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 85. Lincecum, right? And that question wasn't besides Lincecum, was it? Just maybe 4.
No, just 4. Yeah. Liner to short, caught by Renteria. Berkman back to first.
Hit it in a little tough luck tonight. Lance, last time up with the bases loaded, hit that ball very sharply. Lincecum got a piece of it to start that double play. Well, here we go.
All right.
Fernando, is he one?
Might have been. Yeah.
Saberhagen probably 85. Saberhagen Gooden both same year, I think, then, right?
85, yeah. That's probably right.
Yeah, how about that? Look at our young guns.
That is amazing. We're back to that again this year. Hunter Pence, the batter.
See, this is kind of a fun era if you're a fan of pitching. The good arms, outstanding pitching performances this year. In Washington now, whenever Steven Strasburg pitches, they call it Strasmus. It's a holiday. Strasmus.
And they've named a burger for him, right? The Strasburger.
They're naming babies after him in streets and everything before he's done.
1-1. Lincecum is one of only 4 National League pitchers to win the Cy Young back-to-back. Randy Johnson did it from 99 through 02. Greg Maddux did it from 92 through 95. Sandy Koufax at 65 and 66. And this guy's 26 years old. Who knows how many more might be in the offing for him. Led the league in strikeouts last year as well. 261 and 225 innings. Chris Johnson on deck with Pence battling here. Looking at it, it's a strike, and 1-2 is the count. There's a .299 career hitter against the Giants. Giants starting pitchers as a group have a 3.24 ERA. That's second best in the National League. And swing and a miss for a strikeout, number 6. Our league leaders is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, showing you the National League strikeout leaders. It's Lincecum 112, including this game tonight. Giovanni Gallardo of Milwaukee is second with Dan Herron of Arizona, and Adam Wainwright of St. Louis tied for third with 101.
Dan Herron pitches tonight against the Yankees. Andy Pettit goes for the Bombers. They're in Arizona.
Bombers got bombed last night.
They did. Herron's striking people out, but he's got an ERA of 4.71 now.
His name a lot, circulated as trade bait. Castro's on deck. Johnson smacks one up the middle into center field. The Young Guns are coming through tonight for Houston. It's a 2-out single, first and second for Castro now.
Astros getting some pretty good swings here at Lincecum. Carlos Lee hit his ball right on the button.
Castro, combined batting average between Class A Lancaster and Double A Corpus Christi last year was 300. He hit 10 homers. Had a 380 on base average last season. He was known for working the count this year at Round Rock.
Yeah, that's the story on him. Good strike zone judgment. Doesn't chase many bad balls. He struggled early this year, then made an adjustment. Lowered his back elbow a little bit. Got a little bit quicker path to the ball.
And the roving hitting coach, Mike Barnett, suggested that. 1-1 the count. And Castro was hitting .226 in April with no homers. And since that point, he was hitting .278 for Round Rock with 4 homers and 20 runs batted in 41 games. That's popped up foul. Uribe will not be able to get to it. 1-2. The Giants have really feasted on the clubs in the National League Central. They've gone 14-5 against the Central Division teams, while they've only gone 8-14 against the teams in their own division. Currently a game and a half behind first place San Diego. Still 1-2 to Castro.
That the NLS is an interesting division. You could easily see any one of the 4 top teams there claiming that division when all is said and done. Right now the Padres lead the Giants by a game and a half. They lead the Dodgers by 2. The Rockies are 4 back. Arizona the only one out of the picture now, 13 games off the pace. If any of those top 4 teams ended up winning at this point, you wouldn't be really surprised. At the start of the year, if you told me the Padres were going to win that division, I'd say, no way.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're 70 games into it. There's been enough baseball played to feel like they're legit.
2-2. Castro played in the College World Series team for Stanford in 08. And Lincecum gets a strikeout. That's number 7 for him to end the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men stranded, 1-0 Astros.
From 11 to noon, and while there, sign up for a chance to be the ultimate Whataburger What-A-Fan. And Bill, I talked to Chris before the game today, and he is ready to go.
Well, he might be going pretty soon. Might be getting in this ball game. Roy Oswalt throws strike 1 to Freddie Sanchez, opening the 7th inning. Chris reinstated from the disabled list before the game tonight. Wesley Wright was optioned to AAA Round Rock. Gets Sampson back in the Astros bullpen. It's 0-2 to Sanchez, and before that was announced, after batting practice, Brad Mills said he was going to talk with Jeff Fulcino, who has had some elbow difficulties, to make sure he was all right to continue. So obviously that answer was affirmative. Up the right field line, is caught by Hunter Pence for out number 1.
Now this is the kind of night where you're tempted to pick up that phone in the bullpen and call down and say, boys, take your shoes off. This is Roy Oswalt's game. 73 pitches as he works here with 1 out in the 7th inning. He's 0 for 2 so far against Lincecum this year. He's got something to prove. If I'm Roy, I don't want to come out of this game.
Yeah.
I'm fighting hard regardless of the situation.
Aubrey Huff singled to left and was thrown out trying to stretch it, and he grounded out. Ball 1 to Huff, who's been just an outstanding acquisition by the Giants this year.
Talked about their outfield with he and Burrell in the corners and Torres in center field. And I was talking to Glenn Kuiper a little while ago. Huff calls it the Wild Kingdom outfield. It's a gazelle with a couple of water buffaloes.
Liner to left. That's in front of Carlos Lee for a hit for Aubrey Huff. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball throughout the Lone Star State. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. That was hit number 5 for the Giants. Huff has 2 of those. Juan Uribe follows.
So they've got the whole. They got the zoo. Then they've got the gazelle, the water buffaloes. They got the kung fu panda.
It's amazing what Huff has done in that huge ballpark in San Francisco this year.
Lincecum, he's just the freak. That's not an animal, but he's a freak. That's his nickname. Roy Oswalt, glittering numbers again tonight. Boy, he's been so good this year. No walks, punched out 5. Strikeout rate, the best it's been since his rookie season.
His ERA almost identical to Lincecum's when this game started. 3.12 for Oswalt, 3.11 for Lincecum. Good heater to Uribe. And strike one of the Giant cleanup man, who homered off Roy in San Francisco May 15th for the only 2 runs in the Giants' 2-1 win.
It's a high risk, high reward pitch right there. You get a lot of swings and misses, but if he catches up to it, you can hit it a long ways.
No balls, 2 strikes. Uribe played against the Astros in the 05 World Series when he was with the White Sox. He drove in 71 that year and the next year. The pitching was superb in that 05 World Series. White Sox had gotten Uribe in a trade with Colorado prior to the 04 season. Huff draws the throw. Huff has sneaked his way to 3 steals in 3 attempts this year.
Not bad for a water buffalo.
The Giants are dead last in stolen bases with 26. 68 games.
Kind of a plodding station to station kind of team. They don't have the speed where they're going to go first to third very often.
Well, they'd like to get somebody to second. That hasn't happened tonight. Off the plate. 1-2. With Pat Burrell on deck. Florida leads 7-4 at Baltimore. They've played 8. And Wieters hit his 6th home run. Florida is the highest scoring team in the National League as far as runs per game in the month of June. Better than 5 runs per game. And the Marlins are 16-5 against the Orioles. Foul back. Oswalt has pitched shutout baseball twice this year. Shut out the Cubs here for 7 innings in a 4-3 win in April. Shut out Milwaukee on the road in a 5-0 win for 8 innings in late May. Paid attendance 29,736. Upstairs he started. And it's 2-2 to Uribe.
And trying to go down and away with a fastball there, and Roy just fell off of it a little bit, flew open, and left it way up and in. He shook a couple times to it. Castro calling for first the curveball, then the slider. Roy wanted to try to hit the outside corner with the heater. Shown a lot of fastballs tonight. He's been very aggressive.
81 pitches so far for the Wizard. Foul back again. Washington has a 4-1 lead after 6 at home against Kansas City. Luis Antolano started against Anthony LaRue. Josh Willingham at his 13th home run, and Adam Dunn, number 17. Castro working with Oswalt for the first time. Roy likes a very quick pace, so no doubt they met before the game, talked things over. Roy really likes that game to move along quickly. Foul back.
Yeah, I'd be tempted, if I were Roy, to add and subtract, to call it my own game, because if you're going to shake a catcher 2 or 3 times to get the pitch you want to pitch, sometimes you can get out of rhythm, get out of sync a little bit. And use his glove and wipe his chest to add 1, or wipe his leg to subtract 1, to go from the breaking ball to the fastball and the like.
Popped up, but backing out of play.
It wouldn't be a problem for Castro, as I mentioned. He's a smart guy. He can figure that out. The 9-pitch at bat for Uribe.
So Neal's the home plate umpire. Just keep another one out. San Diego 2, Tampa Bay 1. They're in the bottom of the 8th. Tampa Bay playing at home.
It's a late toast for San Diego again.
Oh, I'm surprised Stafford Bud Black this year.
He might be the best pitcher most baseball fans hadn't heard of before this year.
Curveball, the appeal goes to first. Check swing call by Mark Wegner. 3-2.
Well, a good battle here. The Giants, like the Astros, for the most part, not a real patient bunch. They go up there swinging the bats. And they hanging in there, putting up a real nice fight.
And ball 4. Runners at first and second now, and 1 out for Pat Burrell. There's the appeal down to first. Check swing call by Wegner.
Yeah, could have rung him up.
Burrell twice has flied to center in this game.
I think, too, that close absolutely equals one swing. You could have rung him up on either one of them.
Burrell not too far from home. Grew up in Arkansas. Eureka Springs. He takes ball 1. Very powerful hitter over the years. Consistently over 30 home runs. 4 different times in his career he's hit more than 30. Popped up. Castro and Berkman come over near the Astros bench, and it's back.
Yeah, frustrating inning for Roy, an inning of almost with Uribe's long battle. It almost got him with back-to-back check swings. That ball just drifting out of play.
Those folks are very glad it did. Not out of play for them. So here's Castro on the 22nd of June calling this ball game after going to spring training, competing for the starting job with J.R. Tolles and Humberto Quintero there in the background while those 2 younger guys fought it out, and he wound up catching more than anyone.
About this time of year that Craig Biggio was first called to the big leagues, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it was against the Giants because I think I pitched. I think when his first game as a catcher, I was pitching, and it was against the Giants. Castro has a chance to bring just a real nice presence for the Astros behind the plate, both defensively and offensively. In those years they had Brad here, and he was so good behind the plate, but he didn't do a lot with the bat.
Line shot left field corner. That'll get the tying run home as Huff scores it. Uribe to third. The throw goes into second, and it's 1-1. Well, Pat Burrell, which is 8th RBI as a Giant, and makes it a 1-1 game.
Boy, has he ever been good for them. The 341 batting average as a Giant coming into this game, and now Bruce Bochy's going to use another pinch runner here. Whacks this ball to left field. Really well played here by Carlos Lee. And at times earlier this year, he would have made this throw into third base, but Brad Mills talked to him, say, hey, look, we're not going to throw anybody out at third base on a play like that, or very rarely. Let's make sure we keep the double play in order, keep that extra man out of scoring position. Good throw there, not only in terms of the quality of the throw, but just a smart play, keeping the double play in order.
Nate Shearholz is the pinch runner. Runners at first and third, 1 out for Sandoval. He's 1 for 2. And strike 1 to him. Sandoval has grounded into 17 double plays. That's tops among National League players. Castro giving the signs to the infielders for the coverage.
Sandoval doesn't strike out much. He puts the ball in play almost all the time, and he's not speedy. So get him to roll over on one or jam him, hit a ground ball somewhere.
Takes a close one, and it's 1-1. Biggio made his debut against the Giants, as you recall, and the date was June 26th, 1988. He hit a fly ball to center off Mike Lacoste, his first at bat. Sandoval, a native of Venezuela, very popular in San Francisco. 17 double play grounders. He flicks that one foul. 1-2.
He has great eye-hand coordination. A good example of it there. His weight was way out on his front foot, and he was able to still put a pretty decent swing on that ball.
The Giants are 14-18 on the road this season.
This ball in.
Foul back by Sandoval. Still 1-2 for Oswalt at 94 pitches now. Roy's due up second in the bottom of this inning. Bruce Bochy has brought 2 players off the bench to pinch run in this game. The Mets are pounding Detroit 11-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning at New York. Brennan Bosch at his 11th home run for the Tigers. Ground ball, Keppinger to second, Manzella to first. No double play, and the Giants grab the lead, 2-1. Sandoval hit it slowly and then beat the relay, and Manzella to Berkman, getting his 30th run batted in and sending the Giants in front 2-1.
Yeah, Roy got his ground ball. Sandoval rolled over on it, but he had a running lead out of the box with that swing. And able to beat the wrap on the double play. Just not enough pace on that ground ball. And with that start that Sandoval got, able to beat it, give him an RBI, and give the Giants a 2-1 lead.
Edgar Renteria comes up. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out.
The whole key to this inning, that battle that Urabe put up. A lengthy at bat, drawing the walk. The first walk issued, the only walk issued by Roy tonight.
Whiteside is on deck. Renteria batting. Giants and Astros are even in hits at 6. And it's 0-2. Stays alive and no balls, 2 strikes.
Roy's been so good tonight. He's showing signs in this inning, flying open a little bit, starting to elevate that fastball. You know, sometimes he tries to come up for effect, but other times he just flew open a little bit and left the ball up. You got to be careful. Renteria not a slugger, but certainly capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and he's got good right field power. High fastball. If you don't get it way up, it's a dangerous pitch to Renteria.
One and 2. Renteria has driven in 876 runs in his career. Michael Bourne plays him in right center field. Line to Johnson at third. The Giants grab the lead. They come up with 2 runs on 2 hits and leave a man in the middle of the 7th inning. It's 2-1 San Francisco. First time up on the second pitch thrown to him by Tim Lincecum. Pat Burrell and Pablo Sandoval drove in runs in the 7th inning, and the Giants now lead at 2-1 as Tommy Manzella takes strike 1, bottom of the 7th inning. And Nate Shearhall stays in the game to play right field. Aubrey Huff has shifted from right field to left field. Manzella fouls it. It's 0-2. Michael Bourne is in the on-deck circle. The pitcher spot is coming up next. And there is bullpen action for the Astros. Looks like Wilton Lopez warming up. Tim Lincecum will be throwing his 100th pitch here. And it's fouled.
And Roy threw a lot of pitches in that 7th after breezing along through 6. Worked awfully hard there in the 7th. I'm not sure what the thinking is. Maybe if Manzella reaches and there's an opportunity to bunt him over, Roy stays in the game. Maybe if Manzella makes an out, they pinch hit.
Chop to shortstop. Torria. It's Manzella. And now we'll see. And we get a pinch hitter. Pedro Feliz, the former Giant, will be batting for Oswalt. And Feliz, who's been playing third base regularly, now taking a back seat to Chris Johnson at that position. And he is swinging that weighted bat as he comes up here trying to do some damage with a 221 average. 2 homers, 22 runs batted in for Feliz. He's had 226 at bats this year. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter.
Feliz, who came up with the Giants, had some very good years in San Francisco before moving on to Philadelphia. It's a chance to strike a blow against his old mates.
Breaking pitch is ball 1 to Feliz. Oswalt in 7 innings. As you see, Wilton Lopez, who has done a nice job this year. Oswalt in 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, fanned 5. Third baseman comes up with it. And Uribe takes care of out number 2. Now Michael Bourne will follow. He's had 2 of the Astros' 6 hits, a double to left center in the 3rd to drive in the Astros run. And a looping single to left in the 5th. He made it around in 3rd after that, but was left. The Astros have stranded 6. The Giants have left only 2. Showing bunt, takes ball 1. into left center field. Aubrey Hoff waiting. And in the 7th, it's 1-2-3 for Lincecum. The Giants lead it 2-1 through 7.
Kids Free All Summer, presented by Minute Maid, is back this summer. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 and under. Kids can also earn rewards for coming to Astros games with the Kids Passport program. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. It's a good program. Roy Oswald in 100 pitches. Gave up 6 hits and 2 runs in 7 innings. His 3rd straight start with 7 innings and 2 runs allowed. Wilton Lopez comes in now, JD.
Yeah, Wilton 3-0 out of that Astros bullpen with a 4.15 ERA. He's made 25 appearances since coming up from the minor leagues. 4.15 the ERA. He's been pretty dependable. Nice job pitching out of some tough jams.
Eli Whiteside, first man up. Taking ball 1 here in the 8th inning.
I have to wish a happy belated anniversary to Astros fans Lisa and Eric Fry. They're tuning in from Tallahassee, Florida tonight.
Okay. When was their anniversary?
Yesterday.
Okay. 1-1 to Eli Whiteside. He came as a pinch runner in the 6th inning for Molina. He was thrown out trying to steal on a strikeout. And this fly ball heads for Lance Berkman at foul ground. Broken bat. 1 out for Lopez. Tim Lincecum will follow. Lincecum has not completed any of his 14 starts so far this season. Keppinger, Berkman, and Lee are due up in the Houston 8th. Little bouncer out to Keppinger. Takes care of out number 2 for Wilton Lopez. Our Haynes Comfort Zone comes your way now, and we'll see some very comfortable fans here at Minute Maid Park. They're comfortable with their Haynes. They're comfortable with the air conditioning here. And a nice pitching duel. A lot of comfort right there.
It's not a good night for the concessions.
No.
Not a lot of time between innings, between pitches. Oswald and the Lincecum game tends to move along.
They're not leaving those seats. They don't want to miss a game-winning hit. Andres Torres is 0 for 3. 2 punch-outs. That's ball 1. White Sox lead Atlanta 9-3 in the bottom of the 7th in Chicago. Carlos Quentin hit home run number 9 for the Sox. Martin Prado, number 7 for the Bravos.
Sox are rolling.
Yeah, they really are. Only back to 500.
9-1 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row.
Is this the move they've been waiting for?
How's it gaining Kenny Williams? Are they getting along? It seems to be a daily soap opera there.
Yeah.
I imagine a fair amount of that is media driven.
Could be. One thing it's probably not a good idea to do if you're in baseball is put something inflammatory on a Facebook page. His son got in trouble over that. He had to be sorry. Little tap goes to Berkman. Tossing to Lopez. Ooh. Did he step on the side of his foot there?
Rolled his ankle up.
He got a scoreless 8th inning, and it's 2-1 San Francisco. Two to 1 San Francisco leading Houston. Tim Lincecum throws, and it's ball 1 to Jeff Keppinger in the bottom of the 8th inning. Keppinger's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Well, this would be a good time. A little leadoff knock.
Center field, Andres Torres moving in. 1 out. We move to Patty Smith.
Well, where are Lance Berkman, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence? The Astro Stars are missing from the list of top vote getters for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help them climb the charts for this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Astros.com and be entered in a sweepstakes for great prizes. Well, here's one of them right now.
Lance Berkman is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. It is getting late. Lincecum with a 2-1 lead. 1 out in the 8th inning. Berkman threw that walk his last time up, leading off the 6th. He looks at ball 1 there. Santiago Casilla warming up for the Giants right now. That's his wife Kara. Carlos, his wife Mary, volunteered during the Astros in Action Foundation auction Sunday, a silent auction in the Astros Rangers game that raised over $5,000 for the Methodist Hospital Cancer Center. 1-1.
Good work, ladies.
Yeah.
Pitch number 110 on the way.
2 balls and a strike. Lincecum shooting for win number 8. 115 last year. Took home his second Cy Young. It's 3-1 now. Probably going to take more than 15 wins to win the Cy this year. Santiago Casilla has been a hot hand out of the bullpen. He's getting loose. Berkman shoots one. Fire into right field. A hot shot. Sandoval tried to get in the way of it, but Berkman has a clean single into right. Well hit ball. Worked the count to 3-1, and he hit it hard.
Puma pounds pill past Panda. Bang. It's a good swing on 3-1. One out not.
7 hits for the Astros. Carlos Lee got one of those in the second inning. And he lined to short in the 6th. Hunter Pence on deck. Ball one upstairs to Lee. Giants have played 24 one-run games. They are 11-13.
And with their pitching and their offense, there's going to be a whole lot of 2-1, 3-2 type ball games.
Now 2-0 to El Caballo. Fouls it. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Rangers are leading Pittsburgh 5-3 in the bottom of the 7th in Arlington. Conley Hunter started, went 6. Gave up 2 earned runs. Michael Young hit his 9th homer. Josh Hamilton, number 17. 4-2.
Hamilton's having an off night. He's only 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored in that home run. Wow. Good breaking pitch here. It's back-to-back breaking balls. Foul ball and then one clipping the outside corner after falling behind 2-0.
Popped up. That's a good points it out. Sandoval comes over.
I'm not the most observant cat in the room, so I don't know if he's always done this, but I noticed Lincecum flinching a lot tonight when the ball's put in play. He got hit by a line drive in his last start. The comebacker hit him back on the shoulder on the backside, and I noticed that on a number of occasions really flinching when the batter puts the ball in play. Again, it may be something he's always done.
He has 2 outs here facing Hunter Pence. He's 1 for 3. Chris Johnson on deck.
See if we can see what I'm talking about here. See how kind of a little duck of the head?
Yeah. There it was.
It's an infield pop-up, too.
Strike to Pence. (118 pitches for Tim Lincecum. Bouncer to second. Sanchez with the toss. Maria takes that toss. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We move to the 9th inning. Giants 2, Astros 1. For refreshment. They want to see this pitching duel. Astros have Johnson, Castro, Manzella due up in the bottom half Sanchez is 0 for 3.
Now, am I getting a little greedy here if I ask for a scoreless top of the ninth and then Johnson reaches and Castro hits a game-winning home run? Is that just asking for a little too much?
In sports, it's possible. You can ask for it. It's possible. What a storybook ending that would be for that Castro family in the seats.
Well, my brother-in-law always says, dream big.
That's right. 1-2 Sanchez. Lopez gets a grounder behind third. Chris Johnson heaves it past Bookman. Kicks back towards second. Bookman will not be able to get him at second base. Johnson's throw was wide of the bag. Sanchez winds up at second.
Not an easy play because he had such a long throw to make, but he came up with it in pretty good shape. He's got plenty of arm, but just misfires. Accurate, probably has him, but I'm going to guess single on error. I don't know. Tough call for the scorer.
No matter what, it's Sanchez at second, nobody out for Aubrey Huff, and he's 2 for 3. Giants had not placed anybody as far as second base through the first 6 innings, and Huff got things started for them. 1 out into the 7th with a single to left. He came around to score the tying run.
Put it past him to drag a bunt. You look at his numbers and say, no, you want this guy swinging the bat. 12 bombs, 37 RBIs. The hottest hitters on their club.
Well, when you see where Keppinger's playing, we understand that comment you made. Bounce to Keppinger.
That's the better play there. You feel confident you can pull the ball, you can give yourself a chance to get a base hit, and you definitely get the man over. But even the Water Buffalo, if he pushes it out past Lopez, could put himself a knock.
Ground out gets it done. Sanchez to third. Now the infield comes in for Uribe. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and run scored. Shearholz is on deck. Ball 1 to Uribe.
It's a tough matchup here. In that Uribe's a good low ball hitter, and that's Lopez's game. Throws that sinker, keeps you down around the knees. And Uribe pretty good at keeping the hands inside on that sinker.
He rips one to left. It's foul though.
Yeah. Good swing.
1-1. Milwaukee leads Minnesota 5-3. They've played 6 in Milwaukee. Casey McGee hit his 12th home run. And it's foul off Castro. 1-2.
And a much better swing at the sinker than he did the slider. That, of course, doesn't mean you can just throw one slider after another, but you throw him that fastball again. Even though I said Lopez likes to sink his fastball, he attempted to take a shot up and in. Try to throw it up above the hand, see if he can either swing through it or pop it up.
Popped it up, but fouling out of play. Lopez also has a good changeup.
Probably his third best pitch is his slider. So that's the rub here. That's the position Castro and Lopez are in. The best pitch, when you just think of the pitch independently, the throw here, it seems to be the slider. He's looking at a real good swing of the fastball. As I mentioned, it looks like he handles that sinker down pretty well. But that slider is Lopez's probably third best pitch. So how many times you go to the well? If you're Jason Castro calling that slider.
Reaches for it, flies to right field. Hunter Pence moving over with the runner tagging at third, Sanchez. Here's a catch in shallow right. Sanchez will apply the brakes as the throw comes in on the fly. 2 outs.
A good job there. They came back with the fastball, but instead of the sinker moving down and into the right-handed hitter, he was able to throw it over the outside corner. And it was a lazy fly ball to shallow right. No chance for Sanchez to even think about going here.
Now, pitching coach Brad Arnsberg is at the mound. Nate Shearholz will be the batter. He'll be batting for the first time tonight. Sandoval on deck.
Maybe one of two things or a couple of things. Okay, here's the guy we want to get. Don't feel like you can fall behind this guy and pitch cautiously. This is the guy we want you to try to get out because the Kung Fu Panda's on deck. And then, too, maybe a little refresher course on Shearholz in terms of how they want to try to get him out.
Shearholz had just 3 hits in his last 38 at-bats. His batting average has dropped from 341 to that 262 figure. He has 1 homer, 9 runs batted in. He came into pinch run for Pat Burrell in the 7th. He shoots one on a line off the glove of Manzella and on through into center field to make it 3-1 Giants. He scorched the line drive. Manzella moving to his left, couldn't hold it. Sanchez scoring, and the Giants are up by 2.
This ball really well struck. Manzella with a quick move on it, but this is hit hard, and it looks like it's slicing and sinking a little bit.
Now Sandoval, he has a hit and an RBI, bouncing into a force play.
So I guess the ruling on the Sanchez play was straight error all the way, huh?
Yes.
The Astros running 3rd unearned. This one here in the 9th unearned. But bottom line, the Astros now trail by 2.
Shearholz gets a hit and the RBI for that liner. No balls, 2 strikes. We're getting the pitching line on Bud Norris's 3rd rehab start tonight for Round Rock against Albuquerque. 6 innings, 6 hits allowed, no runs. He walked 1 and he fanned 6. He threw 89 pitches, 62 of them for strikes. Lopez throws to first. Giants have some activity in their bullpen. They have had for a while. Johnson, Castro, Manzella due up in the 9th.
Wilson must be up now.
Yes, he is. They're going. Castro with a throw to Manzella. He puts a tag on him and gets him. Shearholz on a laser throw from Castro. Gunned down. Manzella took that throw on the run. Still had time to apply it. There's 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left. 3-1 Giants. don't have any home runs tonight, but here's a first major league hit on a breaking ball from Tim Lincecum. It's a line drive single. First major league at bat for Jason Castro with his family watching. And then he gets a throw out to Tommy Manzella. He later had another throw out to end the top of the 9th inning on sheer holes.
I'd say that young man is having a pretty nice major league debut here tonight. The only thing that would make it a little sweeter would be an Astros win. But they've got work to do. Pretty big mountain to climb now, down 2. Facing Brian Wilson, who's got 19 saves this year. 4 of those have come against the Astros.
Chris Johnson leads it off. He singled in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. And there's strike 1 up and in.
There's no day at the beach facing this man. 19 out of 21, 42 punch-outs in 29 2/3 innings. 1 homer, tough to hit.
It's 1-1. Tim Lincecum threw 119 pitches. 78 were strikes in 8 innings. Allowed the Astros 7 hits, 1 run, walking 2, fanning 7. And he could go to 5-0 lifetime against Houston. With an ERA still under 2. Fouled away, and it's 1-2.
From that high octane fastball, complements it with a good slider.
Wilson's second in the National League in saves with 19. He only faced 1 batter Sunday in Toronto, struck him out to get save number 19. He's converted 7 of his last 8 saves, including 5 in a row. It's 2-2 to Johnson. Wilson, 28 years old, from Londonderry, New Hampshire. Last year he saved 38 in 45 opportunities. He was a 24th round draft choice of the Giants in 03. Rounded at third. Uribe Sandoval, 1 out. The Giants starting pitchers in 4 games at Minute Maid Park so far this season have allowed 4 earned runs in 27 2/3 innings. Jason Castro is 1 for 3. Jeff Blum comes out to the on-deck circle. Manzella due up next. Castro looks at ball 1. He singled in the 3rd and scored. He's 1 for 3. It's a good fastball. It's 1-1. Mid-90s for Wilson.
And tough to get on top of that pitch. 95 miles an hour is late life. A lot of foul ball straight back into the screen. If he gets it down, it's a little easier to handle.
Over at third and into foul territory goes Uribe. 2 outs. Now Jeff Blum is announced as the pinch hitter for Tommy Manzella. Astros switch hitting infielder comes up with a .228 batting average. No homers, 13 runs batted in for 114 at bats. Had a very nice season pinch hitting so far, going 6 for 20 and driving in 7. 2 for 4 against Wilson as well. Jason Michaels is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next. Long takes ball 1.
Jeff started the opener of the Rangers series. Went 1 for 4 in that ball game. This is his first at bat since then.
It's 2-0. Wilson has had a blown save in a game started by Lincecum. That was against the Phillies in late April. Lincecum gave up 2 runs in 8 1/3 innings and wound up with a no decision. And the Giants lost in the 11th.
You better be careful with that. The public enemy list in San Francisco if you blow games for Lincecum. And Wilson's been very good for the Giants, but they hold Lincecum in a very special place in their hearts for the freak out there.
2-1 to Blum. He bounces one slowly up the first base line. And Sandoval drops it, but Blum is still out. Yeah, he had slowed up. And that gave Sandoval a chance to grab it and step on first. Bruce Bochy's club has won 9 straight from the Houston Astros going back to last season. And the Giants go to 39-30. They continue to have their way over the Astros, and they are 27-12 at Minute Maid Park. They win it with only 3 runs tonight. Final score, San Francisco 3 and Houston 1.